The thing that you might be thinking about that you don't want to share with the audience is the thing that honestly might set your business free into levels you've never been into.
There's so much like dopamine inducing content out there, stuff flying all over the screen now. And I think viewers are getting overwhelmed.
We're talking about the Taylor Swift effect. As far as Taylor Swift is purposely being panned on every third shot, especially when Travis Kelce gets the ball, but it's for a reason. It's for a reason. And why is it for a reason? It's a great feeling to be consistent. Where it's January, just finished 2024 of demanding more. We did a great amount of episodes.
Yeah,
you did maybe 5 or 6. We did 5 or 6 together in the past 30 days.
Yeah, we did a lot. And I was just telling you before this, like I was making a LinkedIn post about it too, that I started my own personal YouTube channel on top of this, right? And I just passed 100 subscribers, and it's only been like 3 months, but it's people that I want to see the videos who are seeing the videos. And ever since I started my YouTube channel, the revenue in my business in Fame has doubled from December to January, and then it grew 50%. So it's grown at least 50% each month since I've started my YouTube channel. And I don't think that's a coincidence.
No, I don't think at all.
I don't. I think it's because we've been consistent, and I'm putting out consistent content on Voice of Production and on my personal YouTube channel. I think it's a message that I only have 100 subscribers, right? And it just because, again, it's hitting the right people.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence at all, because due to the simple fact that just understanding, like people that,
dude, who gives a fuck? Just, yeah.
I know, but no, we were just talking about that. That's a whole another conversation, but people like to consume a lot of information before they make a decision. So a lot of people that have maybe inquired about your services, even from my services, a lot of my business for storyline marketing has gone up because I've been putting out more consistent content where people have been able to make sense of what I have to offer when it comes to a value standpoint. And I think that is part of the reason why your revenue's gone up, why you get more eyeballs, why you went up to 100 subs, because the snippets of content that you made from the hours of podcasts that we've done, people watched it on their own time, and then they made a formal decision, say, hey, Levi, I think I'm ready. I've watched enough of your content. And whether they verbally said it or not, it's the subconscious to say, I'm finally ready.
Yeah.
So you're in people's heads, and overall you present yourself as the obvious choice, because I'm sure you've been on the list of people that, or production companies they wanted to work with, at least one other, where that other production company didn't have any type of
content flow.
No content.
So it's not showing up in their feed, Yep. But I also want to talk about this. That kind of sparked something for me. I was going on a hike with my buddy Adrian. Yeah,
Adrian. I know Adrian. I told him we got to jump on too.
Yeah, and we had a deep conversation while we were hiking about like authenticity, because I just had the podcast with my dad last week. By the way, if you haven't seen that was like a great conversation. Shawn has seen it too. Like it was very impactful. We got like straight into it too. Like we didn't. Like,
it was an efficient 40 minutes.
But yeah, I mean, what we talked about is kind of like the future landscape of marketing, right? Where it's going. And I think that there's so much like dopamine inducing content out there, and like there's stuff flying all over the screen now. And I think viewers are getting overwhelmed, honestly. Yeah. I think that whole engagement thing is starting to fizzle out. And I've kind of, I've been posting more raw content on my YouTube channel, like 10-minute clips from this podcast, or like me even talking directly to the camera, but like not editing a lot. I think the rawness is coming back. Like the raw videos of you just talking to the camera, giving advice. Yeah. And I see a lot of examples, like Gary Vee starting to do that too. Like there's this another YouTuber, Myron, and I think just viewers are so sick of the overwhelming amount of editing. And I think the authentic, just like basic editing and the rich dialogue, that style is coming back. What do you think?
Yeah, I shared a video. I think it was in the last 2 weeks. But it was someone saying exactly that, which it's something that I resonated with, where they were saying a lot of people can't relate to a lot of the high aesthetic, choppy, very fancy editing. And so a lot of people in this AI filled world want more of an authentic raw, straight to the point voice. And the messaging is more important than what people are visually seeing, because a lot of people are getting caught up where they think it needs to be sexy in terms of how it looks. But what's most important is what is the messenger saying, which is seeing. That's where most of our appeal. That's what we've been getting better at as we've done 5, 6 episodes and working that muscle. And that's what we've seen gain a lot of attraction in our journey when it comes to jumping in front of the camera, consistently podcasting at least once a week. I definitely think that's true because it's not relatable. It looks cool. Like
the thing is also AI is starting to take care of those tasks. Like it's like almost a plug and play where you just put a short into like an AI platform or an AI tool or AI website, and then it gives you a bunch of that, pizzazz on the video. And it's just like overwhelming. And it's crazy what this AI can do to make your shorts engaging. But eventually everyone's going to be using the same tools and everyone's videos are going to look the same. So what's the new norm? That is, that the over engaging content, that's the new normal. So now the separation comes where, okay, now people are starting to go back to the authentic. So I think the more raw content, the authentic content is going to stand out.
People can't relate to the fact of all the aesthetics, and we're going to have the upper hand because everything that we talk about is built on actual result and actual timeline. And going back to the point which you were talking about, what you wanted to bring up, what we wanted to start doing, and we want to test it out. We want to see if it works. We want to get the audience engaged into the podcast because we're doing this for many reasons. We want to first be service based in terms of for our audience.
We mostly want to serve.
Yeah, most importantly, we want to serve in general, and part of serving is we want to share the knowledge and our expertise, whether it be actual tangible examples to stuff that we see out into the market. But
before you continue, I just want to be clear, like that's like our main goal is like we talk about the results we get from this, but that wasn't like our initial conversation starting this podcast together. It wasn't to get money for ourselves. It wasn't to get clients for ourselves. It's really to like showcase or like share our expertise and help other people.
Yeah, share our expertise and become effective communicators, because one of the things before we jump into what we talked about, the thing we wanted to introduce is if we can get effective telling simple stories. Like we were talking like last episode, or you were talking about boring businesses. We always talk about boring businesses. We like to make boring businesses exciting and telling their story, giving their a voice of production with their marketing when it comes to telling their story. But being able to tell a simple story of something that might transpire that most people might not think is a big deal, a big situation. If we can do that, this is where we can make anything effective when it comes to our words, because there's things in our lives, even in your life, that you might be underplaying that has so much value, like that that individual you're going to bring up, that owned the recycle company.
That was just what I was going to say.
We're on the same
wavelength.
Business owner you were talking with, he had a situation happen that he viewed as negative, and you were sharing the value in something he only viewed as negative, but feel free to give detail to that.
Well, so I was sitting at the lounge, a cigar bar, with a buddy of mine. I'm not going to say his name. I don't think he likes to be out there too much, fine. But good buddy of mine. He's he's operating COO. He's in operations for one of the largest recycling companies in Arizona. I think they have branches in other states too, but he's very high up in the company, and he was talking to me and kind of like we were sharing our experiences and our businesses. And he was talking to me. He was like, I had this, tragedy happen like a few years ago, and the fire broke out. A huge, gigantic fire broke out in one of our recycling plants, like our biggest recycling plant. And it was like the largest fire that Arizona had in a while. It made national news, not just local news, but national news. That's how big it was. It was a multi-million-dollar loss.
Yeah,
it was
big, heavy.
I don't even know if I want to say the number, but it's a lot of money that they lost because of this fire. It made national news. It was like a whole tragedy, right? It was there's even more to the story, right? Like a battery somehow got in there, set it off. Fire department showed up late.
Tragic.
Yeah, it was tragic. And, he said that, just recently we came back from it fully, and we're back in action. Like we just recently got back to where we were before the fire.
And it was years ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was years ago, and they just rebuilt. And we started, the conversation kept going on, and then he went back to me, and he's like, well, what about your business? And we started talking about my business and how it's going lately. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've been seeing like your podcast clips, because we talk a lot in this podcast about telling the stories about each business, and each business has a unique story to tell. And it's kind of our job to find that unique story.
Yep.
And he was like, oh, what story would like a recycling company? Like, there's no way you can tell a story. Yeah, it's boring. Like, what story would you tell in a recycling company? And I started to tell him, but like someone else interrupted. But in my head, like, I was like, dude, you just like, you told me the story, like, and people don't want to have those negative stories associated with their business. But if you have the right team and the right production company, to help you tell that story and put it in a positive light. Like, what I would have done with that is I would have created, I would have told the story of this fire happening in their business, and them coming back from it, right? Like, the video starts out like there's this huge tragedy. It hooks the audience in, and yes, it might be negative, but then you bring people in the environment of your business and show them how you came back from that tragedy. Sorry.
I was like, strategy.
Yeah. How you came back from that tragedy.
Yeah.
And through that, people, you create the video in a way that the viewer roots for you. They're rooting for you. And also, it's not bad to have tragedies in your business. Nobody's perfect.
Yep.
And people like imperfections too. If you show the imperfections in your business, like nothing's all, flowers and dandelions, like every business has their struggles, and don't be afraid to show your mess ups and like how you came back from those mess ups, how you learned from those mistakes. Like, that's the stuff that translates on video, and that you can find those like unique stories to tell in each business.
Yeah. And this is why we get so excited. And another reason why we make such of an emphasis to jump on camera, because every time we've jumped on camera, is it perfect? Do we have every topic written down and flowing, exactly know what we're going to talk about? No, we've gotten way better. And we were just talking about off of camera. Well, probably at the beginning of this, where the camera was either on or about to be turned on. 20 episodes from now, we're going to be so well in terms of how we can flow. And you might be watching this, and a few of you might see us 20 episodes later, and you'll see and understand what we're talking about. But a lot of people want to bury their adversities. For us, we get excited because we want to add on that rainbow or the next climax of success to see it through, instead of burying it.
Right now, we know we suck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was saying.
We know we suck compared to what we're going to look like 25 episodes, 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years from now. Yeah. And that's where we get excited about as a creative agency, a production agency. We see your adversity, we see opportunity to share the authenticity. We're talking about, he said he went on a hike with Adrian, talking about authenticity. That's why people like hearing these things. And this is how you have to look at your trials and tribulations. Don't just look at sharing, oh, we have 4,000 reviews on Google that are all 5 stars. You've got a couple. Like, I remember talking to Levi way before we started doing this. Not going to say names, but at the time he was dealing with adversity, somebody gave a review, and then it was a crazy thing. Yeah. And he does good work, but it was like this whole spiel that he didn't have control over. But we're all going to face that adversity, but that happened long ago, and he's well over that adversity. And now we're here, and we're building on top of that. We're building higher and higher from that. But that was like a big thing. It was like, oh my God, what's happening? But just like that crazy loss to that client he was talking to, that's how you got to look at your business. That's how you have to look at the lows. The lows have opportunities to present highs when it comes to your audience, because people like authenticity. That's why I like to hear us talk. Yeah.
Is through those mistakes in your business and through trying different things.
Yep.
If you're just you're doing the same thing and you don't really have a marketing plan, like if you're just, winging it, then you're never going to grow. Your company's just going to stay stagnant. But if you if you try different things, you hire, you look for reviews and you try different companies and you find the right company that will, test out your marketing strategy, figure out your brand, and you try different things in marketing, you're eventually going to grow and you're going to find what works and you'll double down on that and be like, oh, now we need a shift. And you're always like, change is good in life and in marketing. Like that's the thing that people need to realize is change and adversity. If you don't have that right now in your business and in your marketing strategy, it's a problem. Yeah. You need that stuff to grow.
And that's to make a great segue into what Levi was talking about. He was mentioning something that we wanted to start to do and get your feedback listening to this podcast, where we want to get interactive, where we want to show you where your gems are in your business, whether they be a great trial and tribulation. But please talk on what you were talking about before, or what you wanted to start to do.
Yeah, we've been, so we have a special announcement that we want to start doing on this podcast, right? We've done kind of the same format where we talk about different new modern marketing strategies. And what we talk about a lot is, how to tell the unique story in your business. Like we have people who talk to us and be like, hey, I love your podcast, but what about my business? What can I do in my business to make it unique? Because you talk about on your podcast all the time how you make different businesses unique, but what about my specific industry? So we have been brainstorming a way to figure out how to bring you guys into it. And what we're going to do from now on is we are going to create a questionnaire. We're going to put it in the description. We're going to pick one a week on every podcast. We're going to do one business a week, and we are going to develop your unique marketing strategy for your specific industry. So we're going to pick one questionnaire a week, one lucky winner. And Shawn and I are going to, before the podcast, we're going to create a marketing strategy for that person that we pick and present it on the podcast. We're going to do one of those per podcast on top of the conversations we have.
Yeah, right? We're going to build onto that and just to really give, I guess, redundancy, because our brand, we work in similar worlds. We have overlapping worlds where, film and media experts focuses on the production and the detail of giving that the best high quality product, especially when it comes to emotional standpoint. And for me, I focus more so on the advertising what he produces. Right. So we want to hit it from both angles, from a production focus from the film and media experts, and then from a creative standpoint of how your business can be best marketed of the content for a production company like Levi, from a paid advertising standpoint to a organic standpoint. And together you have an organism. And so we're going to match that together. So if you're a business owner, or if you're a marketing executive and you're responsible and you want to get some new ideas, this is something that we can use and we're given essentially an assessment from our expertise, and we want to get you guys involved in. It's pretty exciting because when he told me about it, our mission is to serve you guys, and we want to find different ways to serve. And I think this is a great way to get some different, unique, give some different unique perspectives on different industries and help our viewers. You should be able to take that information that we talk about and implement it immediately, because this is the stuff we talk about with the people that we sit down with anyway, on the phone, on Zoom, in person, that we work with as a clients anyway. So we're going
to do it for free. So this is stuff our clients pay for.
Yes.
But if you're a business owner or you're in marketing for your business, you have the chance for free. Click on the description below. Fill out the submission. We're going to be doing one submission a week, developing your marketing strategy for you for free. It's going to be a great way for us to interact.
Yes.
Do one a podcast.
Yeah. So. Businesses, another thing we're talking about, we can segue into, we're talking about the Taylor Swift effect, as far as how Taylor Swift is purposely being panned on every third shot. Like the Super Bowl is going to come up. This is the perfect way to edit into it, where she's going to be panned on every third shot, especially when Travis Kelce gets the ball. But it's for a reason. It's for a reason. And why is it for a reason? To give a really compelling number, $331 million towards the Chiefs organization is what is increased or been brought to when it came to Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift being at the games and purposely being shared and showed. But everybody hates it. You hate it. You love it. or you're in neutral about it, or you're confused on why they're showing it or sharing it. But we want to talk about these things because it's not on accident. People always, I hear a lot of people, I don't know about you, but I hear people love it, but I hear a lot of people, why are they showing Taylor Swift? Why are they posting
it's ruining
about her?
football? Like, I saw this post the other day. It was like, Taylor Swift is ruining football. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? But I'm for it. I think it's genius.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, look, it's working. Like the Chiefs organization has grown. Their brand value has grown by 331 million. Was that the number?
Yep, 331 million.
So it's working. And, I have friends who are Chiefs fans who, when I watch the game with them, they're like, oh, look, it's Taylor Swift. It's working. Like,
but learn from this. This is the stuff that we gossip about. Like, we're Taylor Swift fans, but I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. And I don't listen to her music like you would hear people love someone's music, but just understanding that there's people watching it because they are Taylor Swift fans. Like, you have somebody in your organization, or you have opportunity to build a brand based off of personalities that in your business that people you might hire. And that's another thing that could really help, because we were talking about how businesses can be seen as valuable from an internal standpoint. That's attractive. If you can make it where somebody is hired on and they can have social media part of their job versus it being shunned, it could really change the grand scheme of your business. People want to stay.
Again, that's like kind of like the importance of like testing different things out. Like I've seen personalities in a business blow up. Like there was a business who was just making like internal videos, and they showed one of the girls that worked for them. She was like not even really high up, but she had an amazing personality. She had a contagious personality, and she blew up from it. So that's what I'm saying. Like in the last podcast, we talked about that too with my dad. Was you don't just build your company's brand. You have to there's personalities within your company that you can, if you showcase those personalities, and it could be even you, the CEO, your personal brand. If you showcase those personalities, you can build your brand that way too. And that's an important thing to hit too, is your personal brands and the people within your organization. People want to see that. People want to see the authentic behind the scenes, video content of your business.
Yeah. And you just reminded me, like I was telling you about that chiropractor I was started working with, and they have people that have worked with their facility for 5 to 6 to 7 years. And one of the things that we're going to be focusing on, we're going to start this week as far as production at their facility, is getting intimate and talking about the people that work there, like why they work there, what makes this facility different, what's their favorite color, all these details, because for them, they have a lot of interactive one-on-one sessions with people that actually have to come to their facilities. So when it comes to sharing, one of the focus points is to share the personalities of people that people might work with, is to help people make a decision and say, I can trust those people. Because when I was on the podcast with the owners, they were talking about most people that go to chiropractor facilities, it's a very cold, unsafe feeling a lot of clients or patients might have when they go see the doctor, and they're the complete opposite. Most people, they might wear a doctor's coat. They don't do that. They do something completely different. Right. And one of the things we're going to do is focus on those details, because all of their reviews, people are like, they're so friendly, it's so family oriented. Yes. It's completely different to what I've known for a chiropractic facility to be. But we're going to focus on that versus the selling of it, because of that particular reason. People want to know who they might work with. Are they going to feel comfortable with who they might engage? And this is something to think about if you have an interactive business where there's a lot of one-on-one, whether it be sales, whether it be human resources, or maybe somebody that might be considered working with you, internal or external. But
that it could be like different things too. But that's a great point, because people don't hire that chiropractor because they just are another chiropractor, because their rates are good, or what, because of their rate. No, they hire them for a bunch of different other they go to them for a bunch of different other reasons. Like for example, I'm doing a video with a pest control company next week. We're doing a video shoot with them, and Jeff, the guy, I've known the guy for a while, Alpha Pest Control, little shout out, but he is a community guy. He's always in the community. He's always meeting people. And through seeing that, I'm like, this is what needs to be highlighted in your video. No one's going to we're putting out the production plan, I think so far we only have one shot, one scene that's that's them actually spraying for pests. But all the other scenes are going to be, you know, the why, like why people hire him. And the reason is because he's out in the community. He's good with families. He's good. You know, they do extra things like take out the trash when they're on the job. Those are all written out scene by scene in our production plan. And those are the things we're going to capture, because that's the reason why people hire pest control company, is because they go above and beyond, because they're interactive with the community, because they're friendly. They don't just like go and spray and leave. They do extra stuff, and they go above and beyond. That's why they hire.
Yes, and a great example, as you were saying, that if you're listening to this, you're a business owner, you're a marketing executive. If you have a boring business, you might consider it a boring business. For us, we might see it as something exciting, but that's why you call us and, you know, you hit up the voices of production. But that's besides the point. Think about the crocodile hunter. The crocodile hunter, I made a post written, but I want to bring it verbally to life. Think about when you watch Steve Irwin, rest in peace to Steve Irwin. I loved him growing up, but he just essentially gave intricate, redundant details of the same animals when he shared and when he was on the show, when he was on our screens, whether it be the crocodile, whether it be the snake, or all the animals in between. And it was the same things, month in, month out, every episode, every single year. But we liked that he got so interactive and up close and detailed with the animals, and he was educating us, and he was sharing his personality while educating us on these animals that he was so passionate about and he was an expert in. So when these you need to think about this if you're a business owner. People want to know the details, like all the stuff you just said, as well as I said about all the details. If you treat your business from a marketing standpoint like Steve Irwin treated the animals, and he shared the perspective and the intel and the education of the animals to us on TV, you will be surprised of the outcome, and you might get something similar like Steve Irwin.
People love authenticity again. And I think with the AI age and the content being so like crazy now, and just like trying to capture they're trying to keep people engaged, right? Yeah. Trying to get watch hours. I think authenticity is coming back, right? Like a good example is Sam Sulek. You know that kid?
Yeah, Sam. Yeah.
So I even had like everyone's hearing of this guy Sam Sulek now. Yep. Like even like business owners who I would have never thought heard of Sam Sulek have heard of Sam Sulek. Yep. And he's like this fitness influencer. He's juiced up. Yeah. Like he's on steroids. And he's open about it. But you look at his videos. I want to encourage you guys to go on Sam Sulek's YouTube channel and look at his videos, and half of it is just him driving to the gym in his car and just talking to the camera and sharing his life and sharing just a day in his life behind the scenes, and he's blowing up. Nothing's edited. It's all raw.
It's all raw.
And that's like the beauty of authenticity, and those types of people are blowing up. Vlogs are coming back because people, again, they want to see how they want to be in, they want to experience how your life is, how your business is. Yeah. They're craving authenticity now more than ever. So that's the way I'm creating my videos personally in my business for my clients. I mean, what about you? What's your experience with that?
No, that's perfect. I'm glad you brought up Sam, because he's like the polarity, because all of it works. You need high production, whether you're going to the movies, you might watch a high quality, movie that was done at the highest level, like Advertise. Advertise took like 5+ years to be made, high quality, all this, hundreds of millions of dollars it took. And then now we're in the world where Sam Sulek, his personal journey of him being transparent, of him just talking about his life. And part of his life, it's not just working out. It's, how he's feeling about the day, or how he might eat, his personal opinions on things. That is, my first thought is, when the thing that you might be thinking about that you don't want to share with the audience is the thing that honestly might set your business free into levels you've never been into, because that's the stuff that's attractive to me. Like Casey Neistat, I bring him up so often because I watched a good portion of his 200 episodes. Yeah. When he went consistently and he did a vlog a day, edited every single day for like 100 to 200 days straight before he stopped. And for me, that was very interesting, because It was very transparent. He told the most compelling story about the most simplest things. And for me, even at that time, that the ability to tell a story about something so simple was so attractive.
But honestly, I want to be transparent for our viewers here.
Yeah.
Is that just doesn't come right away. It
Yeah,
comes with
it
these
doesn't.
people have been vlogging for years.
Yeah.
Casey Neistat has been vlogging for years and years and years.
Yeah.
But he made a dedication to show up, and he's consistent with it.
Yep.
And that's the key. That's what people are missing. They're thinking, oh, I'll start my YouTube channel, and they make a goal like, oh, I'm going to do a video a week, and then 10 episodes go by, and you're like, well, I'm not getting results. I'm done.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't set goals, because honestly, I know every guru out there says that they set goals. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be honest. It's not how my brain works. For other people, if that's how your brain works, that's how your brain works. But for me, I make it a lifestyle. I make it a commitment. It's not a goal like I'm going to do this by this time frame. It's that I am making a dedication to do one podcast a week. Mm-hmm. And this is just my life now. Whether I feel like doing it or not, this is what I'm going to do. And by just showing up, that's where you're going to get the results. And like we said earlier, we're going to keep getting better and better and better. And being okay with the fact that we suck right now is fine, because 2 years from now, we're going to be ready to go.
I say you've never jumped on camera before. Yes, objectively, you're a noob, but you also might have a talent that the world and your audience might find of value, but you have to give it the chance, and you need to give it a chance by being consistent, not just doing it once and falling off, but the consistency of it. Like Sam Sulek and Casey, obviously he's like an extreme example if you look him up, but his consistency is what I fell in love with, and why I fall in love with it. And I talk about it because that is what separates him as well as what we fall in love with, because we don't put all our eggs in one basket. Oh, we're going to record one podcast, me and Levi, and if it doesn't do 47,000 views, we're not going to do it. No, we understand. We salivate. Literally, we're talking about, we got to just keep going. We were just talking so much about it because
we're going to possibly even, well, I don't want to say that yet, but
we're plotting to become a bigger. We're planning to become bigger than what we are today, and we'll leave it at that. But we're building on some big ideas.
But some exciting stuff could be coming soon.
Yes, because we see what needs to be done, but the consistency is what we make the dedication for ourselves. And you show up when you don't want to show up. You tell a bad story, and you leave it open to tomorrow is another day for me to be better, or to see another day. It's not always highlights of what might be deemed as a success. Success is showing what's bad even when you don't want to.
And also, like, an important part of that is not just being consistent, but testing out like what works. Like if you're posting on YouTube, maybe try 2 times a week. Maybe try 3 times a week. Maybe even try posting every day. And sometimes, people, see in their YouTube channel through the analytics that maybe posting every day isn't the best thing for me, because now I'm seeing that it's taking away from the other videos, and maybe we go back to 2. It's all about testing things out all along this journey and trying different things. Like we're trying the questionnaire out. That's like an example of a different thing. Always evolving and growing and making it a lifestyle. 100%. Making it a lifestyle in your business.
Produce more than you consume. Demand more in 2024. Part of that, if you're watching this, you need to make it a priority to produce more than you consume. Produce at least in every hour of content that you watch. Like, that sounds insane, because you might think about like, wow, I've watched. Like, if you check your watch time on your phone right now, I consumed 8 hours worth of content last week. Make it a goal to go ahead and produce at least 30 minutes for every hour you watch, because it sounds crazy. Like, wow, 8 hours of content. What do I have to talk about? But that's why you need to challenge yourself. Because
write it down every time. Like, I always have a notepad next to me at all times. I have like 3 different notepads in 3 different places, because I never know when I'm going to come up with a good idea. Like that questionnaire idea. Like, I came up with it on
the way here.
On the way here, and we were like just started brainstorming and how to like develop this, right? But that's the thing is, always write it down, and not on like your phone notes, not on the computer. Like, physically writing it down for me, I mean, that's what we're, I mean, if you know, whatever, just write it down. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And get it on paper so that you know, and you have a plan and you have these content ideas ready.
Yeah.
And don't put the pressure on yourself to be like, oh, I need enough money to hire a professional video production company. Do it on your phone. Just start on your phone. Use CapCut, which is like the most commonly used app for editing videos. And again, you don't need to worry about creating these engaging videos. Make it authentic and make it you, and just be you on camera and share your experience with the world.
Just do one push-up, do one push-up, do one pull-up, do one bench press to get the first rep out of the way. Like for me, I have a board at my home, and again, we have 60,000 thoughts every single day. So sometimes I'll go crazy on my board and I'll wipe stuff down. Sometimes I'll record myself writing stuff on the board, and then I'll like forecast what I'm talking about. Other times I'll pull out my phone immediately because I don't want to lose the idea. Like that Steve Irwin idea where I made a video of it, and then I had the thought that I recorded it. I have yet to edit it yet, but I wanted to put examples of Steve Irwin, of him sharing and showing the education and passion of the animals of what I was saying. The reason why I brought it up, this is me exercising that muscle, because I wanted to give you something of reference of what I was talking about. That is me testing even some of the snippets. I put a snippet on the voice production channel, tried a different caption, and then I put something on for my YouTube channel, Storyline Marketing. And I did that before I got here. I want to see which caption does well. It's like why you should consult with a production company, why you should consult with a creative agency. And I want to see what grasps attention, and I have more data to bring more ideas to create more, because you'll never end creating.
But these are the things that businesses are starting to focus on. These little things that we're talking about, testing out different stuff, testing out different captions, because attention is the new currency. These are the things that the successful businesses are doing. And if you are not doing it, you're going to fall behind those businesses. It's just a new standard, and you need to start now so that you can get really good at it, so that you can stand out from everyone else.
Think about an adversity or a problem that you had to solve. So like for me, I deal with a lot of home service or blue collar businesses that have some type of inspection. Think about a problem that somebody within your organization had and you had to overcome. Think about that, and think about it in the perspective like almost as if you're looking in at a story. Like once that problem is done or solved, think about how you could tell that story. Something as simple as that. That's what we want to challenge you to do, because for us, we see it like, oh.
Yeah, we see it. And that's what we specialize in, is finding that. And it's weird because you don't really want to associate a problem with something you want to put out to everyone. But again, you have to flip it into a good thing and figure out a way to tell that story in a way where people are rooting for you to come back from that problem. And by the end of the story, it's like, oh wow, like, you know, that's an awesome thing. That's a really unique thing, right? For example, we did a video for a company called Stentam. Sorry, they're a tax or employee retention credit. They give companies employee retention credit, and we did a story, right? We did a story on this restaurant that. Jalapeno Inferno here in Arizona. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they almost went out of business. And we went to Jalapeno Inferno. We took the cameras there, interviewed them, and they said, during COVID, like we almost went out of business. But then Stentam came along and they consulted us on how we can get employee retention credit in a safe and legal, not illegal, a legal way. Right. And they got them a check. I'm not just saying the number because they didn't want to say it on camera, but they told me off camera, it was a lot of money and it saved their business. And again, that's like kind of a tragedy kind of story, but we flipped it to where it's, a thing where you want to root for the business. So just finding those different ways to tell the story and finding those problems in your business and because people want to see that. People like the imperfections, and they want to hear your story. They want to hear what goes on.
Yeah.
And that's what really captures that's what captures people's attention and gets results.
And that's another reason why we're going to be going so long, because that happened to them. A lot of businesses suffered during 2020, during 2008, and we're in an election year. And again, I don't really express political party, but objectively, there's a lot that's already transpired 1 month in January, and every month something's going to transpire where you could be at risk again. You have to ask yourself the question, do you have to be at the point of something happening in this country where you don't have a brand, you don't have an identity, you don't have something that shows people you're the obvious choice, where you might be at risk of going out of business? Again, I don't know what's going to happen November 5th, but a lot of things have happened prior to that. And so you can learn a lot from history, but now you have the history of the past, and then you have the information that we're giving you to go ahead and create your own future. Now, if you don't do anything, you can almost guarantee yourself what's going to happen in the future if everything stays the same, if you're watching this. So like that business that he was working with, his production helped them go to the next level. In this case, keep their doors open. So whether it be a push-up where you're jumping on camera, or you write down an idea, or you hire a production company, or you work with a creative agency, take the next step. And the questionnaire, we're gonna make it a consistent thing to see how it helps you guys to help you figure out what your next step is. If you don't know what it is, comment below, do something where you found value of what we're saying, but you're unsure of what step you're at. It might be a level 1 or it might be a level 10. Do you need an avatar production investment into your story, or do you need to pick up the camera? Either way,
right.
This is where voice production
That's why the individual, questionnaires are going to be beneficial, because people might be at different stages watching this. And now we can personalize it. We can be like, okay, you're at this stage through the questionnaire. We can figure that out. Here's what you need to do at this stage. Oh, you're at the next level. Okay, here's how you can amplify your story. So that's kind of the benefit of this. And I'm excited to kind of have this format moving forward. So yeah, again, in the middle of each episode, from now on, we're going to highlight one business, give them a shout out. And
if you don't get this week, depending on how many we get, we're going to stack it as long as we get the inquiries, because we're excited to share on the spot with you. So
again, our mission is to serve you. So any way we could do that, I'm sure we're going to find more ways than this to help serve the viewers listening. But I mean, that's why I love doing this podcast with Shawn, because he has a similar mission as me. And we just love to serve. We love to help people. We love to grow businesses. So this is what we're about here at The Voice Production.